Alright guys, so as I promised, we're going to do a walk around video today, kind of give you a rundown on the updates that we've done to the coach. From the beginning, you've seen tear out, you've seen what it looked like when we first got it to an extent, tear out to where there was nothing inside. Bits and pieces probably on Facebook if you follow our Facebook channel of what we have done on the inside as far as getting things built out to the way that we wanted to have them built out at that time. With that, let's take a look. So now we will go inside. We'll do a little walkthrough on the inside of the coach, see where things are at. You guys will get an update. There's some things that are not in here. I think I mentioned in the last video that we did have in here, TV, the little things of that nature. There is more stuff that I want to update in here yet to make it more comfortable, cozy, I guess. But you know, these are all little things that we're just going to keep knocking out throughout time until the coach sells, and then we'll get to do it all over again in a different bus. So we are looking forward to that. Overall design idea for the next coach, I think is going to be a lot better for our family to fit our needs and comfort. But we're not disappointed with what we have by any means. It's been great to us. The kids were all extremely happy. We all had a good amount of room considering that we're all in a coach, you know, and we were living in a coach. Overall it was good. We had a good amount of room for it. So let's go inside and take a look. So the outside of the coach, down in the bays, not much has changed. This back bay is still all the same. The only thing is I took out some old wood that was covering some of this stuff, and I did that with the intentions that I want to rebuild all of that. Now, what ends up happening with that, I'm not 100% sure yet. As I stated, we do want to try and sell the coach. So if that happens, I might not get a whole bunch done back here. I might just refreshen it up with some new wood and paint and let it be what it is. This bay was open all the way through from side to side. I did get in the half wall, put in the mini fridge. The Blackstone is set in here just for a reference for right now. It's gonna get put on a frame and go on slides, so that way that can pull out and we can utilize that, because I absolutely love cooking on the Blackstone. To me, I mean, that's the best way to cook. Way better than just a grill even. So the front, you guys saw in the last video, we are updating all of this. I did get some plywood to start working on that. So in the next video, you will start seeing the process of that. I will probably do a little bit of time lapse during the build, a little bit of you know, me communicating with you guys about what's happening, and see what you guys think. So coming around, I had put a new rubber hinge in here. That did not last long. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. We did start, you can see with weather and everything, it's kind of gotten a little faded. It needs to be gone back over again. But if you compare that to down here, I mean, you can see we started to go around to polish, and I didn't spend a whole bunch of time because I was just trying to get idea on how long it was going to take to do the whole entire thing. But we did get a little bit of polish work done on it, and I do want to continue that throughout all of the stainless and get that all taken care of. So there's the generator bay. You can see that from right here is where the generator is. That will get all sealed off here shortly, and this whole front bay will look completely different. And then this is the other side of the mini fridge and Blackstone bay. The plan was that we were going to, up here, currently is where one of the kennels is at for the dogs. And we were going to make a ramps or stairs that came down for the dogs and had this whole back side or this whole other side over here as a dog hangout spot, so they could come down here and have a nice open area to kind of relax and do their thing and be comfortable. So this is all original yet. Again, this is something that I plan on, you know, modifying and redoing and updating. A lot of it's from the original build, which was in '92 when the original conversion was done. It's just old and it's nasty in my opinion. It needs to be redone. So that will get gone through here. If it doesn't sell, it's going to be one of the priorities because I just don't like it. Alright, so coming up, first thing you notice when you open the door is all of the stonework. Now I do have brushed stainless angle that I'm going to be trimming over all of this, and then there's going to be neon tube light that's going to glow down on the face of each of these stairs. It's going to go along this side over here. It's going to go along this side over here. I have more flooring I got to cut to put it on top of here yet. And then as well as all along here, this will all have trim all around everything, so it'll be trimmed out real nice. It should look really good when it's all said and done. Shoe rack, this is all going to be redone in wood. That's probably after I get done with the front bay and get some more work done in the back bedroom. That is, the back bedroom is then my next task that I'm going to be handling, and then after that I'll be coming up here and redoing this whole dash. This is all going to be redone. The gauge cluster is all going to be getting redone. That's why it's pulled up right now, because I wanted to be able to see how involved that was going to be to change that. I did go through and I was having some blinker issues. I got that all figured out. That's why the panels are off on the side over there. Just been kind of going through and updating some things and finalizing some things to make everything work 100%. The guy that we got the coach from had purchased this tap, custom made, to try and put in here on the coach. It was not able to just be a direct fit, so he was not able to get it put on. We put this on. I sent him a picture of it. This I just did over the last week or two. I wanted to make sure that made it onto the coach, even if we don't keep it forever. I thought that was a very touching thing for him to put for the coach, and then to allow us to take it with us and make sure that it made it on. So moving on, we did update all of the curtains. All of the new curtains are black all the way around. They do pull. There's two over here. We did not get the buttons yet from curtain to curtain to be able to button them all together, but they're long enough that it's really not that necessary. So all of the cabinets got painted. These wires I have to retuck back up. As I stated, you know, I've been kind of going through and looking around at things and trying to modify and take out stuff that's no longer needed and all that good stuff. So we've got the counter over here, fireplace, there's a cabinet down there, lower cabinet down there. The televator pops up here. It does fit a 65. That's what we held on it. Worked great. It was perfect. The very bottom of the screen was just above the opening right here, and then it came up. Televator comes up. I had to notch out this trim board. Oops, sorry. Let me get you up here so you can see what I'm doing. I had to notch out this trim board a little bit for the televator right there, to be able to come up and make that up there. But it works out great. So we put the neon tube lighting across the top up here to give us a little bit more lighting, because there isn't a whole lot right now. I mean, all we have is these little 12-volt lights up here. I did plan on, when we do the ceiling, to run more of the same neon tube lighting in between a couple of the boards, because we're going to do the slats. So I figured I could do, you know, along each side, roughly around in here, tube lighting on each side over here and here, and have those so I could turn those on and get more lighting and section them off. So I could turn it on, you know, from the front of the coach to the wall, and then have it go further through the hallway into the bunk area and have that another section, and then the bathroom section, and then the master bedroom section. I thought that would be kind of a nice option, and just have them all on switches. And if we continue to keep working on the coach and building the coach out, that is something that I plan to do. So we got all of our cabinets down here. We got the sink and these things you guys have seen. Fridge, full residential fridge. We did do some modifications to the bunks. We were not happy with how the bunks were put together originally. Originally this space was on the bottom. We thought it was going to be a good idea to have the space on the bottom for storage, be able to put bulkier stuff down below down there and slide them out in totes, and it was just going to be okay. That was not the case. With doing so, his bunk, Bentley's bunk, was up here, and the side of the coach, as you know, is rounded, and it just took away a tremendous amount of headspace, and I was not okay with that. I was not happy for him being up there. He didn't really seem to worry too much about it. He continued to keep on, you know, charging through it and was okay, but I wasn't, so we changed that. With that, Liv's bunk is down on the floor. I couldn't justify putting it on the floor, so it's at least on a little bit of a pad down there. That's her mattress right there, because I'm in here doing some work and getting rid of some old stuff. I'll show you exactly what's going on here. The original solar stuff, that's what that panel is that's inside there. It's unscrewed from the wall right now, so I could pull some wires. The coach batteries are also on a solar panel setup, as well as its own charge controller. So the coach batteries stay charged via solar, right? And then what's left in here right now currently is the rest of the solar that goes down to the charge controller for the rest of the house stuff. So the house batteries and all the 12-volt that goes throughout the whole house. That's coming out. These are all, I have up top now a box, a waterproof box on the roof. I have put in this wall a PVC tube that goes from the ceiling. You're not going to be able to see it, but it goes from the ceiling all the way down through, and it comes out the floor. I could actually go show you that in the basement. So as you can see, that tube right there is what I was talking about. That's PVC coming down from the ceiling, and that's going to house all of the main solar panel power wires coming down to go into the charge controllers. So what we have for solar up there right now is going to be put on bus bars. They're going to all come in, tie into the bus bar, and then the main line is going to come down and run into the charge controller. I haven't really seen much like that, but I think it's going to be okay. A little bit of research that I've done, it's no different than doing the connector from the Mci connectors, I think they are. But I don't want to do the connectors, and I want to have one location where they all go to inside of a watertight box, and then the single line coming down from there then to go into the charge controller. Now, excuse me, the longer we keep this, the more solar that we're going to add up top. I have a whole design plan for up top. We'll end up with 2,600 watts of solar up on the ceiling, and with that, there will be multiple waterproof boxes up on top at that point. Then that will then lead, so the front section will all tie together in a waterproof box, and then we will be able to run the single lead into this box and then down into the basement down here in the coach into its own charge controller. And the same thing, so the curb side will have its own charge controller, the street side will have its own charge controller, and then the back of the coach will have its own charge controller as well. And it'll be the same thing. The main lines will then come down through that tube and then go into their charge controllers. So that's the tentative idea for right now. We'll see how that all ends up when it's all said and done. All right, so now that we're back inside, we'll switch over to the other side and I'll get another view of this. This is the pantry. I put this in here so that way we had a spot for our trash can, for one, and then another storage for bags of chips, canned goods, so on and so forth. Canned goods were really my biggest concern, and I wanted those to be in their own little drawer. Still have to put the face on that yet and the handle for that. This is going to be a drawer. So that'll be a pretty full depth drawer that I'll put some dividers in it, and we can, you know, kind of organize the stuff that we put in there. This is one of the dog kennels. I want to do a little bit more to this on the back side. I want to put some holes and have a couple of fans that will be turned on automatically with a heat sensor. So, you know, if it gets above, say, 80 degrees or whatever you set it at, it will kick the fans on and keep a nice breeze blowing through, so that way, you know, your pups, you can't have your pups getting too hot. That's not good, right? This side over here is going to be all drawers. That is the plan. I have not got that far yet. It was storage for a while. The drawers obviously all will need to come out. The lower two drawers will be shallow, but the top one I had planned on being a fairly deep drawer, so it would go over the top of the water heater, and then you could pull it out and have a good amount of stuff. Now, my plan was these drawers that were going to go in here were going to be for the kids' clothes, right? So there was plenty enough room in there to be able to break up the clothes for the 3 kids that were in here, and it would have been good. Then we're moving into the bathroom. This is the shower area. The shower is not completely done. We still have a good amount of work to do on it yet. For some reason I cannot zoom out far enough. But I built the wall. I got the pan basically all framed out how it needs to go. There's no barrier in it yet, so all that needs to happen. We got a little bit of seam sealing to do around this piece of plywood here at the back wall joint, and then everything is going to get red guard and tile. So we actually, inside of this, our plan is 2 walls, and I think it was that wall, that side wall, and the shower head wall, which is that wall right there. The plan is that we're going to do a faux cement finish, and then this wall here and the opposing side of this wall here, which, as you can see, has shelves here. I have it designed so on the shower side, this can be routed out and have it as a shelf as well on the shower side. And the same thing with there. So there can be 2 shelves in the shower at all times for all your little stuff, you know, the shampoos and soaps and all of that. And it has a spot to live in the shower. You don't have to try and pack it away on travel days or anything like that. So that's the plan for that. We have the shower head already. We have all of the plumbing for that. I have the drain. I have to move the drain from where it used to be, which is right here, into there. I have everything prepped and ready to do that. I just have not got there. That's another one of my next projects here pretty soon. Trying to get them knocked out in order on how I have are in order of the parts that I have or the materials that I currently already have. So we built shelves down here. I did not get this all finished trimmed up. You can see I ended that there. I was gonna trim this off and have a piece of wood come up and then go in on this side that was easily removable, so we could pull that out and have access to the water. That's the fill into the fresh tanks right there. And then that black line that you can see is actually the vent line for the tanks. So then we have up here just one small little cabinet that's built in. There is no mirror on here or anything like that. We weren't worried about having a mirror personally ourselves in here, so we didn't worry about doing that. You could put a mirror here trimmed out with, you know, with some nice trim pieces on it if you decided that that was something that you wanted to do. But for us, we weren't really worried about it. So we'll open this curtain up, get some light in here. This is the bathroom vanity. Stuff went through and did the finish on that. I thought it turned out awesome. We were very happy with that finish. Just a simple sink in here, a tall faucet, which I personally like. You know, it makes it a little bit easier for me to be able to clean things up in here if I need to. This is a brand new toilet. We put a brand new toilet in because the other one, the pedal was down here and it was sticking constantly. So it was the biggest pain in the ass. I have new light to go up here. So these were the original lights that were in the old bathroom. I didn't know exactly what we wanted to do. I actually have the light right here. I think this is going to look great. It's already 12 volt, so that's going to set right up there, and then the wiring will then get redone, tucked into the wall, and retrimmed out. But again, the plan is in this room to have the ceiling the same thing. It'll be all the slat wood. We wanted to try and keep that theme all the way through from front to back. So there's that. So that's the bathroom. We don't have anything down on the floor in here yet. We have all of this flooring from the front all the way to here, and it ends here currently. I have the flooring in the house, and when I get into the bedroom, after I get the basement project done, the bedroom is my next project, and that flooring will continue from here and up and around the bed and finish up with the same flooring. And then the bathroom will be a tile. That's our current idea anyways. We'll do tile in the bathroom. So moving towards the bedroom, you can see this is Steph's mirror. So when she needs to get ready, she's doing her stuff. The mirror is right here. She can actually open this out, and when we're not parked on a crazy hill like we are right now, it holds open quite well actually. It does have a lock. Obviously it is a jewelry cabinet, as you just seen, so that's been really nice. This is set up to be a little office area, is kind of how this was designed. It's not finished, obviously. I'm reskinning the walls right now. I have the plywood to do that, but we just haven't got quite that far yet. So once I get done with the basement, like I said, this is the next area of work that's going to happen, and there's going to be quite a bit that is going to happen in here to finish this and make this look really nice. So moving over to this side, we have the closet. There is a little cubby up here to put stuff. Then this is the closet. There is not the back panel made yet for this because the water and everything needs to be finalized for the shower, and that's exactly why I left this open. My plan is to, as you can see how I have this frame in here, my plan is to frame that, have that cut out and on a hinge. So if you ever need to have access in here, you know, that's going to be the joint that's going to need work on anytime if anything goes wrong. The top where it goes out to the shower head is all soldered together. I'm not worried about that having any issues. But any of these joints, you know, especially with the plastic piping instead of copper piping, you know, the connections can wiggle loose, you know, as you're going down the road after years of work. And you know, I just wanted to have access to that. Down below here, we have another dog kennel. You know, when we're away, we wanted to make sure that the dogs had their safe spaces that they could go into. Even when we weren't out of the coach, even when we were here, we would leave the doors open for them, for the dogs. And those were their safe spots. They knew that was their safe spot, and they would always go to those for comfort. And I encourage that personally. I encourage them having that comfort level in a cage or crate, whatever you want to call it, or a nook or anything along those lines. So I think that's good for the dog to have that spot where they know that they can go and be comfortable. So back in the bedroom, this is the master bed. Obviously, we added some old barnwood just to kind of give it a rugged look. I think that it looks great. It's rustic, I guess is the correct term. With that, we tried to make some rustic looking lights that go and are attached to that. These lights actually are going to be getting pushed back because where they are right now is not an ideal situation. When you're laying in bed, you can hit your head on them or hit them with your hand or anything like that quite easily. So those are going to be getting changed, or not changed, but moved back. These lights here, these lights here, the bunk light up there, the light on the wall up front, the neon light, is all activated via smart system. So with Alexa in the coach, which we don't have Alexa in here right now since we haven't been using it and we're working on it with all the wiring and everything disconnected right now. Alexa is not in here and hooked up, but I can turn all of these lights on, all with their own names. I've got them all named currently on my system. And I can turn all these lights on individually. Even these, I can turn each of these lights on individually, or I can turn this whole pair on together, on or off, right? So that's quite nice. Cabinets, that's full depth, so you can see that whole depth, that goes all the way back, same up top, so there's quite a bit of storage. There is a radio currently that's back here. We never used it. Honestly, I think I might take it out and maybe try and add another drawer down there. But that's to be determined. These currently most likely are going to come out, and we might do just like a small shelf. We took the drawers when we originally started doing the conversion. They were 100% going to come out. We did not want them in here at all. They just took up space that was unnecessary, we believed. But with being in here and realizing that every inch matters, it's not a horrible thing to have that. But I like that you can see here that it's open to the outside. So if we do just a small shelf instead of a full cabinet, we have side access into this storage compartment. And we had a full normal queen size bed on here with a pillow top and all that. So it's a very large bed, very heavy bed, and trying to open this to get access into there was a chore, you know. So having the access to there from the side right here and being able to store things in there and get to them when you need shoes, whatever it may be, I think is going to be better than having these and just like I was saying, just keep just a small shelf up there. So that's the idea with that. That's where we're headed with the directions on what we're going to do if we continue to keep working on it. But that's just us. It does have two ACs, two ceiling ACs that were already in here. There's the one up there and the one in the bedroom that I just showed you. Those work great. This is the vent pipe that I showed you down below that comes out. This is going to get boxed off like so. And it actually might come out and just go straight back this way and kind of fade in like that, so it doesn't look so ridiculous just being a box sticking out like that. But you know, I wasn't about to drill another hole in the roof and try and redo that portion up in the roof. But I needed to move this wall over. This wall was originally right here. You can see there was an original wall there, and it wasn't going to work for us. So we needed to make as much room as possible for the desk and so on, because if you work from home like I do, you have to have a spot to work from. And with everything up there being all living quarters, this was my working quarters when I needed it. So we've got a little bit of work to do here and there, but we're keeping on with it and trucking through everything. So we're very happy with the way that it's come so far. You know, the sky is really the limit with what you can do or are able to do in these things. And we plan to continue to keep on doing to it as we own it. You know, we do want to continue to keep using it. We're not going to just let it sit and rot away. It's beautiful. We absolutely love the look of it. We love how, you know, everything has turned out. We do have, you know, the backsplash that matches the entryway right here. That wraps all the way around to this side over here, and that will get trimmed out as well. There's the shelf up top that worked great for spices or soap or whatever for using in the sink here. We did do the cup washer in the sink right here, which worked great for the kids. Honestly, it was super easy for them to just come over, put their cup on top of that, push it down, rinse their cup out, and let it sit in the sink, and then either Steph or I could get it washed out. We got the soap dispenser right here on this side, and if we keep it, we're going to be adding the water filtration system in here as well. I'll have to drill a hole in here. That's not that big of a deal. I can drill another hole, add another hole into that, and we can get that put in. So this is where we're at. Like I said, we're very happy with how it's turned out so far. But we thought that we would give you guys the opportunity to check it out and see where we're at with it. You know, we tried to, from the very beginning, document everything that we did, and we do. We have all of that footage still, but it did not all get edited. It did not all get put into video format for you guys to be able to see, you know, where we're at with the progress and so on and so forth. Once we had to move in and be in it full time, that kind of consumed things for a little while. So progress was minimal once we were in here. I spent, you know, there was a weekend that Steph and Liv were in Wisconsin. I spent that whole weekend doing the entryway and the bathroom wall, right, the shower wall. And it doesn't seem like that's much work, but it was a lot more than I anticipated it on being, honestly. So with that, we hope that you like the progress so far. We hope that you'll continue to follow along. Let us know below what you guys think of it. If, you know, maybe interested in purchasing the coach. If not, that's totally cool. I'm not trying to convince anybody to buy it from us. A lot of me doesn't want to get rid of it, to be completely honest with you, but we have other ideas, as I was mentioning in the last video, and we want to try and pursue those. So let us know what you think. If you haven't already, please, so follow along with us on our journey. Hit that subscribe button. We would greatly appreciate it. Hit the like button. None of those things are really that important, but it does help us with being able to continue doing the videos and make it more visible for people that want to watch along. So appreciate everything, and we'll catch you on the next one.